valuable organism to gather information for biomedical research. By testing animals, lab technicians are able to understand how different medical treatments will improve the lives of humans and the animals themselves. Yes, animal research is important and should be used. However, scientists and researchers need to find a better way so this testing stops affecting our environment. I will be looking at both the scientific lens and the environmental lens. Although animal testing has its negative aspects, there are scientific reasons that support that testing is in fact positive. Animals have given us valuable information in discovering new ways to treat and cure certain diseases. Stated in an article called "Should Animals Be Used for Scientific or Commercial Testing?", nearly every medical breakthrough in the last 100 years has come from animal testing. The research has even improved the health of animals. Certain drugs and medical treatments that are being tested are used in veterinary clinics. Looking at a familiar animal to us all, the importance of animal testing in biomedical research article states dogs have allowed us to understand diseases and how to cure them. Dogs and people have many of the same diseases such as heart disease and cancer. This means that by studying dogs, we are also able to help improve the lives of all types of dogs. Looking at this image, you can see that our human organs are very similar to a dog's organs and how they are put together. This allows us, if we're studying dogs, we'll be able to help humans. By helping humans, we'll be able to help dogs later on. The reason scientists use animals for biomedical testing is because they share 98% of their DNA with human beings. The animals being used during the experiment have a shorter life cycle than us humans, allowing the experts to understand the disease because the disease process and how it interacts with the whole living system. By looking at this image, if you look at the bottom right, you can see the line of DNA is exactly the same as many of the animals, except for one being the elephant. There are other ways that scientists could use instead of animal testing, such as studying cultures in a petri dish. However, that does not provide the same or better information than it does with working on a central nervous system, endocrine system, and immune system that is just like a human. It is important to realize that animal testing is only one part of biomedical research. There's more that goes into finding a cure or medical treatment. As seen, there are benefits to animal testing, yet there are environmental concerns that need to be fixed in order for the experimentation to be effective across the board. Stated in "Should Animals Be Used for Scientific or Commercial Testing?", 94% of drugs that pass animal testing failed in human clinical trials. This shows that the experiments sometimes are not beneficial because the experts are putting those test subjects through pain when the product does not even help a human life. The Humane Society International says that the test subjects that are used in experiments are subjected to force feeding and food and water deprivation. Although testing causes harm to the animals, it also causes harm to us humans. Looking at this image, you can see two different types of animals that are put in cages, which means that they have no outdoor access. The testing has a direct negative impact on human health, especially those that are working directly with the animals. Discarding the carcasses means that the expert are disposing of harmful chemicals, food that was given, and the different supplies that are used during the process. As stated by Graf, animal research facilities let out those harmful chemicals, which consist of air pollutants such as nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and carbon monoxide. One of the bigger issues that affects people is that the public drinking water is contaminated with the drugs and chemicals that are used during animal testing. In a lab, the rats or rodents are packed tightly in rooms that allow no outdoor access, causing scientists to be affected by the laboratory animal allergen, LAA. This can cause the scientists to have either an allergic reaction or asthma. LAA becomes an important occupational and environmental safety risk for all those who are involved in the process. Looking at both these images, if you look at the left, it shows the exposure level of LAA. So no direct exposure would be the office workers working in the facility. Intermediate exposure would be those that are working daily with the animals, and then high exposure would be the animal handlers, cage cleaners, and veterinarian staff. Then on the right, it shows a picture of how it would affect a scientist with LAA, causing them to have asthma. Yes, animal testing is extremely important and valuable for biomedical research. Animal research allows the experts to better prepare medical treatments that cure diseases in humans, as well as in helping to improve the lives of animals. If there was no experimenting, humans would be at extreme risk for receiving other diseases or even worse, dying. However, there are extreme environmental risks that need to be addressed before animal testing could truly be effective for all parties. The risks that need to be taken in are the amount of rats and rodents that they are harming in the facilities, the health effects that it has on the scientists, and the effect that it has on the public people. Once these are all fixed, animal testing will benefit everyone across the board. Thank you.
Thank you. A couple of questions. How valid and reliable are the sources that you used? How do you know, and which sources didn't work out?
I would say my sources are reliable because either it came from a Stanford, a college, or from websites that were up to date, like they were up to date from 2020. And then I would know this because of the date that was listed and the authors that are scientists as well. And then all my sources worked and each gave me valuable information that I was able to use without leaving out any details, which helped me conclude with my conclusion that animal testing should be used for biomedical research.
Okay, thank you. Another question. What advice would you have for other researchers who are considering this topic?
I would advise others that said no to look at how it improves our lives instead of just how we are hurting the animals, and look at other research that affects us instead of just like looking at the negative aspects, because there are positive aspects of animal testing, because it not only helps our lives, but it will also improve the lives of many animals as well.
Okay, thank you.